What do Bitcoin and an escalator have in common? They both go up and down.
Shut up, bitch!
Cryptocurrency investment and stocks equal money. Let's go on a journey with somebody that thinks he is funny. Good afternoon, lads and lasses. I trust you're doing well. Here is part 3 of what is Bitcoin, understanding Bitcoin. So let's just get into it, because this still has quite a few parts to go in this series. So now we're going to speak about Bitcoin, how to use it as a form of payment. Bitcoin as a form of payment. Bitcoin can be accepted as a means of payment for products sold or services provided. Brick and mortar stores can display a sign saying Bitcoin accepted here. The transactions can be handled with the requisite hardware terminal or wallet address through QR codes and touchscreen apps. An online business can easily accept Bitcoin by adding this payment option to its other online payment options, credit cards, PayPal, etc. Did you know that El Salvador became the first country to accept Bitcoin as legal tender in June 2021? Bitcoin employment opportunity. Those who are self-employed can get paid for a job related to Bitcoin. There are several ways to achieve this, such as creating any internet service and adding your Bitcoin wallet address to the site as a form of payment. There are also several websites and job boards that are dedicated to digital currencies. CryptoGrind brings together work seekers and prospective employers through its website. Coinality features jobs, freelance, part-time and full-time that offer payment in Bitcoin, as well as other cryptocurrencies like Dogecoin and Litecoin. Jobs for Bitcoins is part of Reddit.com. BitGigs. Bitwage offers a way to choose a percentage of your work paycheck to be converted into Bitcoin and sent to your Bitcoin address. Investing in Bitcoin. How to buy Bitcoin. Many Bitcoin supporters believe that digital currency.
One semester later.
Many Bitcoin supporters believe that digital currency is the way of the future. Many individuals who endorse Bitcoin believe it facilitates a much faster, low-fee payment system for transactions around the globe.
8 semesters later.
How to buy Bitcoin. Many Bitcoin supporters believe that digital currency is the future. Many individuals who endorse Bitcoin believe it facilitates a much faster, low-fee payment system for transactions across the globe. Although it is not backed by any government or central bank, Bitcoin can be exchanged for traditional currencies. And in fact, its exchange rate against the dollar attracts potential investors and traders interested in currency plays. Indeed, one of the primary reasons for the growth of digital currencies like Bitcoin is that they can act as an alternative to national fiat money and traditional commodities like gold.
Winning.
In March 2014, the IRS stated that all virtual currencies, including Bitcoin, would be taxed as property rather than currency. Gains or losses from Bitcoin held as capital will be realized as capital gains or losses, while Bitcoin held as inventory will incur ordinary gains or losses. The sale of Bitcoin you mined or purchased from another party or the use of Bitcoin to pay for goods or services are examples of transactions that can be taxed. Like any other asset, the principle of buying low and selling high applies to Bitcoin. The most popular way of amassing the currency is through buying on a Bitcoin exchange, but there are many other ways to earn and own Bitcoin. Risks associated with Bitcoin investing. Although Bitcoin was not designed as a normal equity investment, no shares have been issued, some speculative investors were drawn to the digital currency after it appreciated rapidly in May 2011 and again in November 2013. Thus, Many people purchase Bitcoin for its investment value rather than its ability to act as a medium of exchange. However, the lack of guaranteed value and its digital nature means the purchase and use of Bitcoin carries several inherent risks. Many investor alerts have been issued by the Securities and Exchange Commission, the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and other agencies. The concept of a virtual currency is still novel, and compared to traditional investments, Bitcoin doesn't have much of a long-term track record or history of credibility to back it. With its increasing popularity, Bitcoin is becoming less experimental every day. Still, after only a decade, all digital currencies remain in a development phase. It is pretty much the highest risk, the highest return investment that you can possibly make, says Barry Silbert, CEO of Digital Currency Group, which builds and invests in Bitcoin and blockchain companies. Regulatory risk. Investing money into Bitcoin in any of its many guises is not for the risk averse. Bitcoin is a rival to government currency and may be used for black market transactions, money laundering, illegal activities, or tax evasion. As a result, governments may seek to regulate, restrict, or ban the use on sale of Bitcoin, and some already have. Others are coming up with various rules. For example, in 2015, the New York State Department of Financial Services finalized regulations that would require companies dealing with the buy, sell, transfer, or storage of Bitcoin to record the identity of customers, have a compliance officer, and maintain capital reserves. Any transactions worth $10,000 or more will have to be recorded and reported. The lack of uniform regulations about Bitcoin and other virtual currencies raises questions over their longevity, liquidity, and universality. But wait, there's more. Security risk. Most individuals who own and use Bitcoin have not acquired their tokens through mining operations. Rather, they buy and sell Bitcoin and other digital currencies on any of the popular online markets, known as Bitcoin exchanges or cryptocurrency exchanges. Bitcoin exchanges are entirely digital and, as with any virtual system, are at risk from hackers, malware, and operational glitches. If a thief gains access to a Bitcoin owner's computer hard drive and steals their private encryption key, they could transfer the stolen Bitcoin to another account. Users can prevent this if their Bitcoin is stored on a computer that is not connected to the internet, or else by choosing to use a paper wallet, printing out the Bitcoin private keys and addresses, and not keeping them on a computer at all. Hackers can also target Bitcoin exchanges, gaining access to thousands of accounts and digital wallets where Bitcoin is stored. One especially notorious hacking incident took place in 2014 when Gox, a Bitcoin exchange in Japan, was forced to close down after millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin was stolen. I think that empty means Mount Gox. This is particularly problematic given that all Bitcoin transactions are permanent and irreversible. It's like dealing with cash. Any transaction carried out with Bitcoin can only be reversed if the person who has received them refunds them. There is no third party or a payment processor, as in the case of a debit or credit card. Hence, no source of protection or appeal if there is a problem. As we just mentioned, in security risk, there's an insurance risk as well. Some investments are insured through the Securities Investor Protection Corporation. Normal bank accounts are insured through the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, up to a certain amount depending on the jurisdiction. Generally speaking, Bitcoin exchanges and Bitcoin accounts are not insured by any type of federal government program. Generally speaking, Bitcoin exchanges and Bitcoin accounts are not insured by any type of federal or government program. In 2019, prime dealer and trading platform SFox, no, not that Xfox with The Simpsons and Family Guy, or at least I don't think so, are they? Announced it would be able to provide Bitcoin investors with FDIC insurance, but only for the portion of transactions involving cash. Fraud risk. While Bitcoin uses private key encryption to verify owners and register transactions, fraudsters and scammers may attempt to sell false Bitcoin. For instance, in July 2013, the SEC brought legal action against an operator of a Bitcoin-related Ponzi scheme. There have also been documented cases of Bitcoin price manipulation, another common form of fraud. And as with everything, as we've mentioned in the intro, that cringy intro, here is market risk. Like with any investment, Bitcoin values can fluctuate. Indeed, the value of the currency has seen wild swings in price over its short existence, subject to high volume buying and selling on exchanges. It has a high sensitivity to any newsworthy events. Elon Musk, I'm looking at you. According to the CFPB, the price of Bitcoin fell by 61% in a single day in 2013, while the one-day price drop record in 2014 was as big as 80%. If fewer people begin to accept Bitcoin as a currency, these digital units may lose value and could become worthless. Indeed, there was speculation that the Bitcoin bubble had burst when the price declined from its all-time high during the cryptocurrency rush in late 2017 and early 2018. There is already plenty of competition, and although Bitcoin has a huge lead over the hundreds of other digital currencies that have sprung up because of its brand recognition and venture capital money, a technological breakthrough in the form of a better virtual coin is always a threat. And last note before this video ends, Bitcoin reached an all-time high of $64,863 in April 14, 2021. This is quite a heavily orientated video on the insurance of cryptocurrency, or the insurance of Bitcoin more specifically. Let me know what you took from this video down below, and let me know your feelings about Bitcoin since we started this series. I will now leave you with 3 questions. Have I earned you liking this video? Have I earned you watching another video? And finally, have I earned you subscribing to the channel? Thank you for making the connection, which means there's only one more thing to mention for the next video that we make. Don't wait. Create.